If they protect Terapagos, then I just accomplish nothing this turn. I probably lose the game, but they don't. Oh, I get a Psychic drop. That's so lucky. And then I miss a Meteor Beam to compensate. Okay, well, it's VGC Legends time once again. This is the series where I spin a wheel, get a random legendary or mythical Pokemon, speed build a team around that Pokemon, and try that team out on the Regulation J ladder on Pokemon Showdown. As always, the two reasons for which I do this are, one, I just like legendary and mythical Pokemon a lot. I've thought they're cool ever since I was a kid, and I want to give each one its own spotlight here, apart from the ones that don't exist in Scarlet and Violet, unfortunately. And number two, by speed building a bunch of teams and spamming a bunch of games with different playstyles, good teams, bad teams, teams that are somewhere in the middle, I have a fun little round of gaming over time and maybe learn some things along the way. I guess it's not that little because we are pretty deep in this series at this point, but anyway, still more Pokemon on the wheel. Let's spin it and get another one right now. We stopping on Eternatus or... No, or. That is what we're doing. It's Eternatus. Okay, I have some thoughts about that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. When this was a Reg I series, I was pretty sure I was just going to commit to Cosmic Power. Leftovers Eternatus. Well, I'm a little bit burnt out on bulky setup Pokemon right now. I'm not finding that they hold up super well in Regulation J. I mean, results vary, but I'm not loving them. And also, Eternatus is an especially awkward one because Cosmic Power doesn't boost its offense at all. That said, Eternatus does kind of stand out to me for being a restricted Pokemon that actually makes decent use of pressure. Because you boost up its bulk with Cosmic Power, you make it very hard to remove. And the opponent actually can get into a position if they're throwing around powerful low PP attacks where they run out of PP before they get the KO. I have seen games turn out that way. I think it's probably happened before on this channel. Though I can't think of the last time I used Eternatus here. But I actually think in Reg J, what I want to do, Eternatus has pretty good offensive stats. Got a base 145 special attack. That's actually not amazing for a restricted Pokemon, but it's not bad. 130 speed. I think I want to try Power Herb, Meteor Beam, Eternatus. I don't think I ever have before. And yeah, I just feel a little bit better about that right now in this format. So I'll just do Dynamax Oh. I was going to say Sludge Bomb. I think I want... Do I even want Dynamax Cannon? I think I do, right? Because it's just so strong. Sludge Bomb would cover Fairies. Flamethrower... Better rounded coverage. Hit Steel types. What's a Steel type in this format? Oh, Magearna. Which is immune to both Dynamax Cannon and Sludge Bomb. Alright, let's do Flamethrower. Meteor Beam and Protect. I guess I could drop Protect, but I don't think I will. I'll do Terrafire. I want Tailwind with this. Maybe Fake Tears Whimsicott can get a redemption. Or I could run Tornadus. I guess another thing to think about is what should the restricted partner be, right? So Eternatus, I still could switch back to Sludge Bomb, but then I'm completely defenseless against Magearna with this thing. I could try to find a restricted Pokemon that just crushes Magearna, like maybe Fire Arceus. Maybe that's what Fire Arceus was for when I saw it recently. There's Volcanion. That ought to be very strong into Magearna. There's Ho-Oh. Oh, work. Eternatus would have issues with what? Ice Rider Calyrex, Shadow Rider Calyrex, Psychic types in general. I always feel like Ho-Oh is a better answer to those things on paper than it really is in practice. Volcanion could be fun. I haven't tried it yet. Of course, it is on the wheel in its own right, but... But what if this? I don't know what the Terra type is then. Steel? No, Eternatus is weak to Ground, Ice, Psychic. Steel does cover 2 of those. What about Terra Water? We count on Volcanion to beat the, Okay, let's do Whimsicott. We count on Volcanion to beat the Magearna. I probably want more Magearna insurance than that. Maybe I want, like, Groudon with Eternatus. That's pretty scary, though. For me. I gotta run Flutter Mane. That doesn't help me deal with Magearna, but it does give me a bit more speed control. Special offense. I'm probably going to be Fake Tears Whimsicott again. Or I can think about physical offense at this point when I have 2 special attacking restricteds. I'm still kind of weak to psychic types, right? Size spam stuff and whatnot. I could think about Rillaboom to change terrain. I could do Incineroar. I could do Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu with Eternatus would be strong. At that point, maybe I reconsider Volcanion and maybe I want a different second restricted. Single Strike or Shifu would be helpful into Size Spam and would give me some physical offense. I could do Rillaboom. Incineroar. This is starting to feel kind of silly. How do I beat Darkrai? Not sure. What about Chi-Yu? How do I beat... Okay, what about Chi-Yu? Focus, Sash, Single Strike, or Shifu for more insurance into like Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and also some Arceus stuff and some Terapagos stuff. And then maybe Rillaboom? I don't know, it feels weird. Not sure all these pieces really fit together. What about Shadow Rider Calyrex instead of Volcanion? Chi-Yu is my fire type. Complements both of these. Everyone benefits from Tailwind. I still like Single Strike or Shifu then, and I can do Rillaboom. After all, Rillaboom still gives me some terrain control, gives me a little bit more from Miraidon, gives me a little bit more physical offense. Volcanion can wait until its own video, or maybe I find a use for it sooner than that. Then this is the Eternatus set. Am I too weak to Magearna now? Maybe. But I mean, I can Sucker Punch and Wicked Blow it. It's resisted. Actually, Magearna is pretty bulky. Do I want an Ogerpon? Do I want, like, Earthflame Mask Ogerpon? Do I want to just try to deny Trick Room when I see it with this and this? Terra Ghost, Annihilate can't Final Gambit into me. I can probably run Modest Chi-Yu this time and just have 2 Ghost types to stop the Annihilate, although it could do, like, Shadow Claw, right? Maybe I still want Timid Chi-Yu, like before. Eternatus in the back as a cleaner. Is Rapid is single... I could consider Rapid Strike or Shifu. Single Strike or Shifu really the right thing here? Rapid Strike or Shifu also can overwhelm Magearna. If I'm running Calyrex though, I probably don't have the Focus Sash available for Urshifu. I probably want that to be on Calyrex. Urshifu's a good Pokemon, but maybe there's something else that I want. Let's suppose I want a little bit more insurance into Magearna. I'm not certain that I do, but Magearna is pretty scary, especially with this set. I'm not sure that Chi-Yu alone is an answer. What beats Magearna? I could think about an Ursaluna. I could run an Ursaluna. It would underspeed Magearna in Trick Room, so if the opponent successfully sets that up and KO it pretty cleanly. Ursaluna actually could make sense here. But then do I want my own Trick Room stuff? I could run like Farigiraf, Ursaluna. Do I get into a weird situation like last... Do I get into a weird situation with a janky Trick Room mode that doesn't really work? If I do that? I do like Ursaluna actually a lot, actually, though, for complementing Eternatus. Could run Blood Moon Ursaluna. But I also want physical power, right? And underspeeding... How fast is Blood Moon Ursaluna? Okay, it's still underspeeds. Honestly, it's slower than I thought. I thought there was a greater difference in speeds between the two forms. It still underspeeds Magearna. I could run Blood Moon Ursaluna. And then maybe I still want to think about an Ogre Pawn instead of Rillaboom. Like, I could run Cornerstone Mask Ogre Pawn. Make it easier to get an Ivy Cudgel into something. That doesn't help into Magearna, but Ursaluna is meant to do that. If I don't run Rillaboom, I can free the Assault Vest for Ursaluna. Maybe. Or I could just go Life Orb. I could run Ursaluna and Urshifu. Mix and match for different matchups. Now, am I sure I want Blood Moon Ursaluna, or do I think I might want the other one? This one is nice for opposing special attackers and whatnot. I don't know. Oh, you know what else? I have another way I can surprise Darkrai if I run Assault Vest, Blood Moon Ursaluna. Alright, let's just try it. I think this is the 6. I think it's a pretty typical Shadow Rider Calyrex. I'll give it Nasty Plot. Could be useful in some positions. You know, like if Chi-Yu takes a KO or two anyway. That can give me openings. This will be similar to last time. I'm going Terra Dark to stop Taunt. I think that's the main reason I would want to Terrasilize Whimsicott. I think it's very unlikely to Terrasilize it at all anyway. But we'll do it like last time. Tailwind, Encore. I could think about Light Screen to complement the Ursaluna, but it's probably fine without. Fake Tears and Moonblast. Don't really see much reason to deviate my Scarf Chi-Yu moves from these ones. And let's remember a Timid Nature. What's that for? Oh yeah, Scarf Annihilate. This, Hyper Voice, Blood Moon, Earth Power, and Vacuum Wave. And don't make it fast because I wanted to underspeed Magearna and Trick Room, I think. I don't know if this mon really makes sense on this team, but I haven't used Blood Moon or Ursaluna in a while, so I'm down to try. And then the Choice Scarf is not available for Urshifu, so I will go Focus Sash. Nope, because that's already taken. I will go Mystic Water, I guess. And that means I'll drop U-Turn for... Detect. I don't know. That's a good Pokemon. We'll see if it helps. Alright, let's fill out the sets and... yeah, just try to overwhelm things with Eternatus. That would be ideal. Shadow Rider Calyrex too. It's better at overwhelming things than Eternatus, but hopefully both. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, part of me is still thinking about Cosmic Power Eternatus, because I do kind of think it better shows what's unique about Eternatus as a restricted Pokemon. I'm just a little burnt out on bulky setup. But making pressure actually useful is kind of fun. Also, this is new ground for me. I have not tried Power Herb Eternatus before, so I'm down to give it a shot. And I guess part of the theory here now is that Eternatus, being kind of a tanky restricted, most likely it can come in and clean up when Pokemon like Chi-Yu and Calyrex have not quite broken all the way through the opposing team. I don't know. We will, once again, see how it goes. And I had another thing I was going to say. What was it? I don't know. Oh. I mean, I gloss over the EV spreads because I don't put much work into them, but a lot of speed and special attack EVs on this team. Should be some quick games. This is shiny locked. I checked that. Okay, I didn't check for Showdown messing with its EVs. Or IVs. But I swear, off recording, I checked that Eternatus could be shiny, and Showdown told me yes. Whatever. Can't prove it, I guess. What a thing to run into as the in the first game here. What a team to run into here. Chiyu or Shifu looks like a reasonable lead, right? Because Chiyu pressures Pecharunt, or Shifu pressures everything else except this. But what pressures this? I'm not going to bring Whimsicott to this one. I'm just going to bring a bunch of strong offense. Okay, it's Pecharunt and Tinglu. I'm just going to Dark Pulse Pecharunt and Surging Strike Tinglu and see what we get. Maybe I should double into Pecharunt, actually. Because Urshifu threatens a lot of their team if I get rid of Pecharunt. Which I do. And also, that means they can't poison me. They can Sand Tomb. Are they going to Sand Tomb? That would be residual damage. No, they just knock out Chiyu. Does that mean they have Wo Chen in the back? I don't know. Here's Dondozo. Dondozo probably has Unaware. So my Meteor Beam boost is probably not useful into it. I think I'm down to Terra Water the Eternatus. So it better takes hits from both of these. And just fish for... Wait, what does Dynamax Cannon actually do? Nothing. Because there's no Dynamax in this game. Honestly, I'm down to just fish for Sludge Bomb Poison into Dondozo. And I'll click Surging Strikes into Tinglu. Yeah, I'm anticipating they'll switch Tatsugiri in here. No, you know what? I'm just going to read that and then Surging Strike Dondozo. Okay, I'm wrong. I do get the Surging into Dondozo, though. Or whatever use that is. It's Helmet Dondozo. Of course it is on this team. Okay, so Urshifu's really bad into that. The Sand Tomb Eternatus. Fine for now in terms of damage, but again, this Eternatus doesn't have recovery. This Dondozo just protected. I'm going to Sludge Bomb now. Again, what I want to do is poison it. It'd be very nice if they let me. I'll click Surging Strikes into the Tinglu slot now. I had a feeling they might switch it out, but I didn't want to fall for that twice in a row. I guess they did. I guess the effect is still they fooled me twice in a row, but... they order up into Eternatus at crits. It's defense boosting order up. That crit boosting the damage is kind of unfortunate. I'm going to switch out to Calyrex here. If they don't call that, then I get in with my Sash intact and I'm threatening a lot of damage. It is... Dondozo does have its boosts, but Calyrex is just very strong. Okay, they KO'd Eternatus there. I guess I didn't have to do it that way. I don't want Urshifu to take more helmet damage. Let's see if I can get away with just an Astral Barrage into Dozo here. Doesn't KO, but the next one will, and they attack Urshifu, so that's good. I'll go close combat here. They might protect Dondozo. I think I can slow down here. Unless it's Scarf Tatsugiri. It'd be nice to hit the Tatsugiri if it's Scarfed. It could also be Sash Tatsugiri. I'm just worried that, like, I Astral Barrage, they protect Dondozo. Urshifu does take Helmet Chip when I didn't want it to. I'll detect an Astral. I'm wrong, they didn't protect Dondozo. Do get a boost on Calyrex, but yeah, I haven't broken a possible Sash on Tatsugiri. If it's Scarf, that's a little bit dicey as well. They also haven't Terrestrialized, so Tinglu could still surprise me with some Terra type. But I guess I'll just Terra Poison. Okay. I mean, that at least turns off its Astral Barrage resistance, but that still doesn't do very much damage. The Surging does some. It's not Scarf Tatsugiri, by the way, so that's good. They take out... Are we good here? Oh, Snarl Tinglu. We're not good here. They take out Urshifu with a Draco Meteor. Yeah, I don't think Astral Barrage will KO Tinglu. I think I Psychic Tinglu here, and I count on Tatsugiri being weakened by its special attack drop, or just missing its Draco. They have Helping Hand. They clicked Helping Hand into Tinglu, so Psychic takes out Tinglu. Astral Barrage takes out Tatsugiri. GG. Did they know how that was going to turn out? They said GG in a position that I wasn't sure was 100% over. I mean, definitely not 100% because, again, I couldn't Astral Barrage there because I didn't think it would KO Tinglu. So even if Tatsugiri just didn't have enough damage normally with the Draco Meteor, right? It was possible that I Psychic Tinglu and then Tatsugiri crits me. And they could still win that way. So the game wasn't over when they said GG, but maybe they saw the likely outcome and that was enough for them. Eternatus didn't do a ton there. I'd say Calyrex and Urshifu did a lot of the work in that game, but hey, if I Sludge Bomb the Dondozo, maybe it's a different, or if I poison the Dondozo, maybe it's a different story. Kyogre, Shadow Rider, Calyrex, Urshifu, probably Rapid Strike form, Overquill, Raichu, Amoonguss. They don't have much speed control, but it could be Swift Swim, Overquill. In fact, I think it probably is because they don't have much speed control otherwise. How do I beat Kyogre? I think Whimsicott Calyrex is okay here. It's kind of weak to Overquill. I could do Whimsicott Eternatus. Actually, I do like Whimsicott Eternatus here. I do have to watch out a little bit for Raichu Fake Out, but that's not that big a deal. And I'll bring Calyrex and Urshifu in the back. Okay, it's Overquill, Kyogre. Do we see an Intimidate from the Overquill? My guess is no. I think it probably is Swift Swim. Yeah, okay. That checks out. In that case, I think I'm down to just Tailwind and Meteor Beam. They protect Kyogre, but not Overquill. I get the Tailwind, so Eternatus outspeeds Overquill. Meteor Beam almost KOs. Not quite, but that leaves Overquill very vulnerable. Does Overquill get Sucker Punch? I think it does, right? Kind of like to go Calyrex here. It's a pretty free Grim Neigh if I Terra Dark, so I'll do that. It's a little bit risky. It's kind of committal to use my Terra for this, but I'll give it a go. And just target a Dynamax Cannon into Kyogre. Guess they also could switch. They don't. They also don't Sucker Punch, so not a great use of my Terra. I'm honestly not sure whether Overquill gets Sucker Punch, but I think it probably does. Anyway, we take out Kyogre. They have 2 Pokemon left. I have 2 more turns of Tailwind. They have Urshifu and Calyrex. I mean, this looks pretty safe for me. They haven't Terra'd. Let's see. There could be some play they could make with like Terra on their Calyrex and then Protect. They do Terra, but there's no Protect, so we KO Urshifu with the Astral Barrage, and then this Dynamax Cannon will take out the Calyrex. Okay. There we go. That is Eternatus Gaming. The offensive set is paying off so far as, yeah, Eternatus and Calyrex pretty much just sweep this one after Whimsicott sets up the Tailwind for them. And committing my Terra there didn't have any harmful consequences at all. It didn't really have any consequences at all. I didn't benefit from it either, but it didn't do me any harm. I ended up just not needing the Terra in that one. Okay. Ice Rider, Calyrex, Miraidon, Fluttermane, Incineroar, Farigiraf, Ursaluna. So this is a slower team. It has a Trick Room mode, but it also could do like Speed Booster, Fluttermane, Icy Wind, making Miraidon go before things. So a couple different ways to play it. Also, their normal types and Incineroar are kind of troublesome for Shadow Rider, Calyrex. I could do... Blood Moon Ursaluna is very strong into the Fluttermane Miraidon duo, though. Not like a hard counter, but very strong. I'm most worried, though, about like Trick Room stuff, if I see that. I think Eternatus can make it kind of hard for them as a lead. I'm just not sure whether I can get away with leading Whimsicott with it. But I think I'm down to try that. Or I could do Whimsicott Calyrex. The risk is it loses to like a Farigiraf or Ursaluna lead. Is there a Chi-Yu lead that can work? Maybe. Whimsicott Chi-Yu is not bad here. And I'll bring my Restricteds in the back. All that and they just lead their Restricteds. Oh, as is their right. Do I Tailwind? I think no. It's Scarf Chiyu. It should go before Miraidon. I think I fake Tears and overheat the Calyrex. Try to deny a possible Trick Room. Because I have a real speed control advantage if their Trick Room mode doesn't go off. I guess this leaves me vulnerable to Farigiraf in the back, though, if I'm using Overheat. I could fake Tears and Dark Pulse. I don't know if that does enough. It could flinch them. But just removing their strongest Trick Room attacker is still pretty good. Let's see if they tear water. Dark Pulse was better anyway. I've just totally given up on trying to guess Ice Rider, Calyrex, Terra types. There's so many that it runs. And I can't Encore now because of the Farigiraf on the field. And I don't have Protect on Whimsicott. So I think my whole team is just Glacial Lance food now, but let's see if there's anything I can do. That's a bad start. I think I just lose. I think that turn 1 Trick Room setup just wins them the game on the spot. I do have Terra Water Eternatus. I think I'd better use that here. Yeah, okay, I'm going to Terra Water, Meteor Beam Calyrex, and protect my Calyrex. I think that's my only out. They are at +2 attack, though. I don't know how much the Terra Water necessarily helps me here. But it's Eternatus. It's pretty tanky mon. And Helping Hand, too. Of course they do. It's common on Farigiraf, but we survive. But I bet Ursaluna in the back just wins this for them now. Yeah, no hesitation. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna Nasty Plot. And I'm thinking there's a way that I can win this. Actually, I'm gonna hard read that the Ursaluna protects to get its Flame Orb here. I don't think it will, but I think that's my best shot of winning. They Headlong Rush my Calyrex. Do they attack with Farigiraf? Because they knocked me down to Sash. They attack with Farigiraf. Oh, but it's Hyper Voice. So both my Pokemon actually survived that. I will get out of this Trick Room. I also KO the Ursaluna back with a Dynamax Cannon. Oh, but then Miraidon is... This is a mind-bending position. Eternatus underspeeds Miraidon and can KO. Miraidon can't even Terrastalize. But Farigiraf KOs Eternatus before Eternatus KOs Miraidon. So I think what I have to do is double protect through the last turn of Trick Room, one-shot the Miraidon with my Calyrex, and then KO the Farigiraf with Eternatus. And if the attacks KO, that works. Yeah, that's my best approach here. They're taking maximum time to bring their Miraidon in. Maybe they're thinking it through, maybe they see it the same way I do, but yeah, I think only out here is protect both Pokemon. It's the only, I think it's the only path. With Calyrex at +2, maybe Psychic does one-shot the Miraidon. We'll see. They went Foul Play into Calyrex. I actually could have taken out the Miraidon with Eternatus that turn, but I thought Farigiraf would KO Eternatus first. Alright, Dynamax Cannon and Psychic. Let's see. It's faster. It's Scarf Miraidon. Did I know that? No, my Scarf Chiyu went before it. Alright, well they got me good. That's best of 1 closed team sheet Pokemon for you. I am running max speed Calyrex, right? Yeah, of course. Oh, I am missing 4 EVs, though. There we go. Whoops. There we go. But yeah. So then I won if I Dynamax Cannon to Miraidon on the second last turn. But I don't regret not doing that. I think what I did was the safer play most of the time. It just blew up on me that time. Okay. It happens. It's Pokemon. Terrapagos, Miraidon, Indeedee, Tornadus, Urshifu, Grimmsnarl. Okay. The other cool thing about Eternatus as a dragon type is I can Sludge Bomb this Grimmsnarl with a poison stab. They have Tailwind. I don't know how committed they are to it. They probably also have Trick Room. But yeah, can I just get a lot of pressure on them by leading Chiyu Eternatus? I think it's worth a shot. Calyrex in the back, and Whimsicott. Oh, maybe I needed to bring her Shifu to cover the Terapagos. Probably should have thought this one through a little bit more. Okay, well, I can Snarl Terapagos, be annoying to it in that way. They can't even Thunder Wave Chi-Yu because it's a dark type, though they can Thunder Wave Eternatus, but I'm just going to Snarl. I'm going to go for my Meteor Beam into Grim Snarl. I want to get Eternatus boosted. They Light Screen, but if it's not Covert Cloak Terapagos, which is not, then Snarl drops its special attack. It's not really in a position to hit very hard or set up very well. They do go for Calm Mind. They will get special defense boosts, which is bad for me because I didn't bring my physical attacker. But I am at least offsetting the special attack part as long as Snarl connects. Also, I could think about... I don't want Grim Snarl throwing around like Spirit Breaks. That's why I'm attacking it here. But I could think about Sludge Bombing Terapagos, trying to poison it. Okay. Totally unnecessary crit. I think poisoning Terapagos could make a big difference, given that I really should have brought her Shifu to this one, and I was just like, strong special spam mode, go! I can Snarl Miraidon too. And yeah, I'll look for... It's a Terapagos team. They probably don't want to Terrasilize Miraidon. Let's just Dynamax Cannon it. Wow, Eternatus was faster. I am running max speed Eternatus, as I think I showed earlier. But I don't really expect to outspeed a Miraidon. Does Snarl KO? Maybe. I'm down to try. And Sludge Bomb Terapagos, look for that poison. Snarl did 11 last turn, and Miraidon is at 11 now. I don't know the roll or anything. They go Tornadus. They can get speed advantage here with a Tailwind. No poison on Terapagos. They Earth Power. They finally remove Chi-Yu. I can't spam Snarl anymore. That's actually pretty bad for me. What can I do? Threaten Encore. Match Tailwind. Actually, locking Terapagos into Earth Power is not great for me. I mean, at -1, it's not the worst thing, but, you know, I don't want to Terrasilize Eternatus. I don't think. Although, if I'm faster than Miraidon, maybe it's fine to Terrasilize Eternatus. To better take the Earth Power. Oh, I have Fake Tears. I forgot. What do I do here? Alright, I'll lock it into Earth Power. This relies on Whimsicott getting through the turn, though, right? I have to be able to match Tailwind. Okay, I'm going to Tailwind and Sludge Bomb Terapagos. I have to be able to match Tailwind. They don't know this Eternatus set. I have to be able to match Tailwind for being faster than Miraidon to work. I can lock Terapagos into Calm Mind here. I think it's actually okay because I have the Fake Tears. If they KO Whimsicott, that would be not ideal, but I guess we still try to play through it. Let's see if I can get rid of their Torn. If I can isolate Terapagos, make it unable to attack, get rid of its special defense boosts. Oh, they taunt Whimsicott. That's really bad. Okay, they still don't have Tailwind. I'll Moonblast Torn, and I'm still trying to poison this Terapagos if I can. Eternatus is definitely faster than Miraidon. Well, it's a speed tie at worst. Alright. Terra Water, Sludge Bomb. They Tailwind. KO Torn here. I could get a Moonblast drop into Terapagos next turn. Oh, my Tailwind is almost over. If they have Protect on Miraidon, I'm in danger. Maybe I didn't need to Terrasilize Eternatus there. That might have still been kind of impatient of me. Although I guess they could Draco Meteor Eternatus also if they get the chance. I don't know that the Terra really loses the game to Miraidon in any world. But let's see. A lot of Miraidon don't have Protect. They have not Terra'd yet. I've assumed they're saving it for Terapagos, but I think we should cover for Terra Fairy Miraidon and click Sludge Bomb into it instead of Dynamax Cannon. Nice. They didn't Terra, but yeah. Same result, KOs. Alright, Terapagos going for Calm Mind. It's a +2. They might want to KO Whimsicott before the taunt wears off, but I mean, all I can do is attack the Terapagos here. I don't know Protect on Whimsicott, and it's taunted anyway. Oh, wait, I have something in the back. Oh, I forgot I had another Pokemon in the back. I had so many chances to switch Whimsicott out. Oh, no, I threw. Oh, no, I needed to sack Calyrex. I forgot I had Calyrex in the back. I got so into the Whimsicott Eternatus Tunnel Vision, I forgot I had a whole other Pokemon. Well, maybe I crit them here. Oh, I feel bad about that one. Just needed to get rid of the taunt on Whimsicott, right? I mean, I don't know for sure what happens after that, but that's a really tough one. I've played a lot of bad games on this channel, but it's not super often that I see one huge, glaring mistake from me completely overlooking something. Oh well, what can you do? Let's get another one. That's only 2 losses, I think. Sun, Rain, Wind Room. Okay. This person hates Perish Trap, but they seem to love basically everything else. A restricted duo of Duskbane Necrozma with Kyogre. I was about to say Abomasnow. Amoonguss. That's a weather they don't have, snow. Unless it's Snowscape Tornadus. They do have a Tornadus. They have Urshifu, and they have Torkoal. So it's actually tricky, right? Because Chi-Yu Shadow Rider is a strong lead into the Sunroom stuff. But if they lead Kyogre, then Chi-Yu Shadow Rider is just bad into that. I could do Chi-Yu Eternatus. I think Chi-Yu Eternatus is pretty reasonable here. Eternatus can threaten Kyogre. I can bring Calyrex. And probably Whimsicott to match Tailwind. That last game. Alright, time to put it behind us. Okay, Torn Ogre lead. Not great for me. Don't love it. I don't know if this will work, but let's see. If I can remove the Torn and not let it attack Whimsicott. I mean, I don't know if Whimsicott takes a Water Spout. It doesn't. Alright, they get Tailwind, I don't. Should I have just led Whimsicott in this one? But then if it's a Duskmane Necrozma lead, how do I ever beat that? Okay, here's what I do. I go Calyrex. I protect, I switch Chi-Yu in, never mind, I can't do that. They have Urshifu. Okay, I think I'm going to do something I've never done before in this series. I'm too shaken from that last game. I'm feeling a little bit tilted. I think I'm going to interrupt the recording and come back another time and record the rest. Or, I mean, this could be the end. That's 3 losses. I think I'm going to come back another time and record some more. Okay, it is several hours later. I don't remember how many. That's probably like 7 hours later. Let's see. I barely remember what happened in that one game, so let's see how I'm feeling with this Eternatus. I haven't done anything like this in this series before, but I just felt like I was getting tilted. Which, you know, I don't know, most days I'd embrace the tilt. And, you know, that's how the video goes, but I guess I wanted to do a little bit better by Eternatus. You know what's fun about Diancie? It's a rock type that doesn't resist poison. I can Sludge Bomb. I can't Dynamax Cannon it, but I can Sludge Bomb it. Also, this is a pretty slow team, apart from Ogerpon. Even Ogerpon's not that fast, so I don't think I need Tailwind here. Hitmontop getting Wide Guard is a bit of a nuisance. Diancie kind of hard counters Chi-Yu also. Honestly, I might bring Blood Moon Ursaluna to this one. Let's just do Eternatus. Let's just do my restricteds, and then Ursaluna and Urshifu. Let's see what that gets us. I also got completely bent out of shape by that one Torn Ogre team because I had no safe lead into every mode they could bring. I need to get better, I think, at thinking about what the opponent is likely to do. I tend to skip that step. Okay, Diancie Farigiraf. So they're going to want a Trick Room, probably. I could see them protecting Diancie and setting Trick Room with Farigiraf. Blood Moon or Ursaluna is really strong into Diancie, though, because I have the Assault Vest and I have the ground typing to resist Diamond Storm. So I think I'm just going to Meteor Beam Farigiraf and switch to Ursaluna. I'm anticipating something to set Trick Room. Looks like Diancie doesn't protect. It just Diamond Storms, okay. It's +2 defense, but I just have special attackers on the board here. Farigiraf sets Trick Room. I could start protecting through this with Eternatus, but Ursaluna doesn't have Protect, and only one of my Pokemon on the back has Protect. I think here I'm just going to Dynamax Cannon Farigiraf, and actually, let's just double into Diancie. It's more threatening than Farigiraf, and it's bulky. So go Sludge Bomb and Earth Power here. They could Psychic. Never mind, they switch Farigiraf out. They can't Psychic. Unless Diancie has that move. Does it learn Psychic? I don't know. Earth Power does good damage. They Body Press KO Ursaluna. I'm not used to facing Diancie. I do have to be ready for Body Press, right? It makes perfect sense with Diamond Storm. It's not really any mystery why they're all running it. So I do need to... I mean, what was I going to do there anyway, though? But Ursaluna is not actually such a good answer to it if they're running Diamond Storm. That's something to keep in mind. Here... So the reason I brought Calyrex is I can... Well, I was thinking I could protect, sack Urshifu, protect, get Calyrex out of Trick Room. But actually, Urshifu is far stronger into Terapagos than Calyrex is, so... Don't want to do that. I think I'm gonna try Dynamax Cannon into Farigiraf and Psychic into Terapagos. At least try to... Okay, they protect Farigiraf. At least try to break the Terra Shell. But doubled into Terapagos there, that would have been nice. Is it Leftovers Terapagos? It is. I got a Calm Mind. I still want to get rid of Farigiraf. I'll protect Calyrex this turn, though. And with the Sash intact, it might not even faint on the next turn. Although if it does, that gets me Urshifu on the field. It also might KO Eternatus here. That might get me Urshifu on the field earlier than I want. Maybe I should have protected Eternatus. Yeah, definitely should have. Oh, I forgot this isn't Scarf Urshifu. I just run that so much. I actually do have Detect on it. I'm just so used to that set. Alright, I'm actually going to click Nasty Plot here. Then if Calyrex gets through this turn, I can go for a boosted Psychic into something next turn. Oh, Hitmontop with Fake Out. That's really bad for me. They get Intimidated into Urshifu, but they also threaten Fake Out into it this turn. They can't Fake Out Calyrex, though. Is it better to Psychic the Hitmontop or to Psychic the Terapagos slot? I think the Terapagos, because I don't think I'm just going to one-shot it with... didn't get the double Detect there. Not going to one-shot it with Close Combat. Not going to one-shot it with anything. Another loss. Maybe this team is just bad. Or I just don't know how to play it. Alolan Raichu, that's different. Miraidon, Alolan Raichu, Groudon, Incineroar, Scovillain, Watermane. Lots of speed control on this one, although funnily enough, no Tailwind. Chi-Yu strong into most of their team. Mainly with... If I just leave like Chi-Yu, Whimsicott, that's strong into everything except Miraidon. And I could maybe bring Ursaluna in the back. Or do I want to, or do I just want to Eternatus and Calyrex? Probably just want to Eternatus and Calyrex. Let's see. Calyrex also is strong in a lead spot here. Maybe I should do that. Calyrex, Whimsicott, Eternatus, Chi-Yu. They're taking some time. Oh, they're done. They're ready. Incineroar. Raichu. I'll protect and Tailwind here. I thought about just throwing off that Astral Barrage, but... Oh, it's Encore Raichu. Okay. Oh, they just Flare Blitz Whimsicott immediately. Okay, an Astral Barrage would have gone crazy here. Oh well. Let's go Eternatus, because then I can click Meteor Beam into Incineroar. And have Tailwind up. Astral, Meteor Beam. Maybe Cosmic Power Eternatus would have been the better video, but no use dwelling on it now unless I want to make a Cosmic Power one as well, which I suppose I could. Sash Raichu? Yep. So that could be annoying. Could still paralyze me or something. Might have been worth attacking Raichu, actually. Electro Web. Okay. But my team's still so fast with Tailwind. If they go Miraidon here, then Raichu outspeeds things, right? Because of Surge Surfer. Surge Surfer, I think, is the same boost as Tailwind. Raichu's pretty fast to begin with. Who's coming in? Miraidon, yeah. But unless it's Scarfed Miraidon, even if they Electro Web again, Calyrex is still faster. I don't think I care about taking an Encore. Maybe on Eternatus I do. So let's Astral and protect Eternatus, and I'm looking to get rid of the Raichu. Electro Web. Okay, could have just attacked Miraidon with Eternatus, but Calyrex should still go before Miraidon here. It does. That's some damage. They went Draco Meteor into Eternatus. Okay. Calyrex is at +1 now, so I think it just KOs things from here. And I'll click Dynamax Cannon into Groudon. Eternatus is faster because it only took one Electro Web. There we go. That's more like it. I don't know how long I'm going to play right now. I've never done a second session before in this series. Just a few games, probably. Miraidon, Magearna, Tornadus, Urshifu, Farigiraf, Kingambit. So this is a Trick Room team, but it also has Miraidon. But I can threaten Miraidon and any Trick Room setup with just like Calyrex, Chi-Yu, right? I think that beats... It's a little bit shaky into Farigiraf, actually, which is a big Trick Room setter. I guess I could Dark Pulse Farigiraf. Yeah, I'm down to try that. I'll bring Eternatus. And I'll bring Ursaluna. It's good into Miraidon and Magearna, and I don't think I need Whimsicott here. They lead Magearna, Farigiraf. This is where it gets tough, right? Because I'd like to Heat Wave the Magearna, but I think I'd rather Dark Pulse the I could Snarl, too. I think I'd rather Dark Pulse the Farigiraf and deny Trick Room if I can. Nice. Magearna does get a Soul Heart boost. They go Kingambit, up Terra Dark, and keep the pressure up on Magearna. Locking Chi-Yu into Dark Pulse means I can't click Fire Attack into Magearna without repositioning. But, oh, it's Terra Ghost. Oh, okay. Well, the Dark Pulse into Magearna is fine then, I think. Goodbye. Get some Astral Barrage damage into Kingambit. A lot of it, actually. Sorry, Queen Gambit. And then just Astral and Dark Pulse Miraidon. And even if they KO something here, my Pokemon in the back can win this, I'm pretty sure. But they don't. Calyrex just takes both KOs. Alright. I guess to some extent, this is another team that either wins quickly or loses. Maybe my mindset isn't the best with that kind of team right now. But hey, I'm doing a little bit better now that I've given myself a not super well-defined number of hours to shake off some tilt. This team has a Honchkrow, which is cool. I don't know what that does. It gets Sucker Punch. It gets Tailwind, probably. I just assume it gets Tailwind. I can go Physical. I can run Nasty Plot, go Special. Actually, Honchkrow gets Perish Song, doesn't it? That's what it's here for. It's Gothitelle Honchkrow Perish Trap. I think it does get Perish Song. I don't know why you would use Honchkrow as your Parish Singer, but I think it does get the move. Oh, that's really scary, because it's Parish Trap to set up Magirna. I can lead Calyrex Chiyu. I actually can do that, right? I can lead Calyrex Chiyu and just attack the Honchkrow. And if it goes wrong, I can Terra Ghost Chiyu. I can get them out of the trap. That's not the greatest thing in the world, but I think it works. I'll bring Ursaluna. Because again, that's strong into Magirna and Miraidon. Incineroar or Honchkrow. So they're looking for Fake Out and Perish Song. This play makes no sense if I'm wrong about what their basic game plan is, but... I'm just going to Nasty Plot. I could Sucker. I'm just going to Astral Barrage, Terra Ghost Chiyu, and Overheat Honchkrow. There's no Fake Out? They got me? They're going to knock off into something? By the time this goes up, I've probably done a Parish Trap with Magirna video that I haven't made yet right now. I gotta remember to run Incineroar on that. That's pretty smart stuff, baiting and punishing ghost types. I guess it's not the end of the world if I let them potentially trap Eternatus. And I preserve my Calyrex here. I don't want it to take a Sucker Punch. They could Sucker Punch Chiyu, but no, they Sucker Punch Calyrex. They let Honchkrow go down. There's no Perish Song in this game, at least. That will knock out Chiyu, though. But I can get Ursaluna here next to Eternatus. We'll see what they have for that. Magirna. I'm down to Meteor Beam the Incineroar slot. And Earth Power the Magirna slot. Protect Magirna, but this Meteor Beam will KO if it connects. Surely. Yeah. Eternatus is boosted. Magirna is also boosted with 1 Soul Heart. But they haven't set Trick Room. Is it Miraidon now? Gothitelle. They brought the Parish Trap, but they never went for it. Huh. I am just going to... Well, Magirna hard walls Eternatus, so I'm just going to Dynamax Cannon... and Blood Moon Gothitelle. Oh, I could have Blood Moon the Magirna. Yeah, I thought they might go for Fake Out. I can't protect Ursaluna, obviously. They Flash Cannon Eternatus. That would be fine, except they get the drop. But they still haven't set Trick Room. I'm still faster. I can Dynamax Cannon Magirna now and Blood Moon it. They could protect to get around the Blood Moon, maybe. They don't. Gothitelle Psychic takes out Eternatus. Magirna gets to +2. Draining Kiss. Uh-oh. Get some recovery from Ursaluna, but the problem with Draining Kiss is even with Stab and +2, it's just not a very strong attack. So Magirna's still out of here, and Shadow Rider Calyrex can clean up, but I mean, Ursaluna can probably do that itself anyway. Alright, 3 quick ones in a row. That's a bit more like it. I don't think I've revolutionized the metagame with Power Herb Eternatus, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't give up on it just yet. It does feel like people are expecting more of a bulky setup Eternatus, and they're letting me just Meteor Beam things more than maybe they should. Even though that's definitely a known Eternatus set as well. But hey, when I see an Eternatus, I first think Cosmic Power, so I understand. This is Trick Room Decorate stuff if ever I've seen it. Also, the Chiyu is... it's hard to punish this with Chiyu because they have Pelipper. That's a bit of an issue. Shadow Rider is strong into their restricteds. Chiyu is also strong into their restricteds. It's just not as strong into Pelipper, but I think it's worth it anyway. I actually think this is a fine lead. I can Dark Pulse Pelipper. Or Dark Pulse somebody else next to Pelipper. I could also think about Eternatus, actually. I could Meteor Beam Pelipper or Calyrex. I could just lead my restricteds. But I like Chiyu for punishing any kind of Indeedee lead. So I'll do that. Eternatus in the back and Ursaluna. Ursaluna is not the best here, but it's got that bulk. It underspeeds some things. Like Necrozma, it underspeeds that. It can hit hard. Okay, it is a Pelipper lead with Bronzong. Probably want Bronzong to set the Trick Room. They also can Wide Guard to stop Astral Barrage. I think I might click it anyway because it's just so punishing if they don't wide guard. I know Dark Pulse Bronzong, Terra Water Bronzong, they do wide guard. Good flinch. Could get a flinch here. Oh, if I'd Psychic Bronzong, that would have been very strong because it turned off its resistance. Okay, Pelipper goes crazy here, right? But only if it attacks, in which case it doesn't click wide guard. I'm gonna risk another Astral Barrage. And I'm gonna... I don't have to do that, do I? I am going to do that. I don't have to Terrasilize Chi-Yu, which is the other thing I was thinking about here. I think I can pretty safely switch to Eternatus here. Iron Defense Bronzong. Weather Ball into Eternatus. Doesn't do too much. I do get an Astral Barrage here. I can protect this turn. But honestly, Calyrex's Focus Sash is still intact. I think I'm okay. And I'm not really that threatened by a Body Press in this position. Bronzong, I think I'm okay to Astral Barrage again and Meteor Beam Bronzong. Oh, I get the Calyrex on the switch. That's really, really good. They wide guard, but that anytime they click wide guard, Pelipper isn't attacking, so that was fine there. What's a little bit less fine is that I don't get the KO on their Calyrex. Would have liked to. I'll protect both of my Pokemon here. Kill the second last turn of their Trick Room. On the Glacial Lance. And then I think I'll Terra Water Eternatus. I think I'm down to switch Chi-Yu in and preserve Calyrex. Maybe I can sack Ursaluna, actually. I think Chi-Yu is fine. Terra Water Eternatus. And try to get rid of their Calyrex with a... Dynamax Cannon. I think it's more likely that they have Necrozma in the back than Alchemy, so I'm just thinking about what they could switch to. Because I have immunities to both my stabs available. They do KO Chi-Yu. I KO their Calyrex back. I think that's a fine trade. I get my Calyrex right back in with no Trick Room on the board. There's the Necrozma. Necrozma is a problem. It definitely is, because it kind of walls Eternatus. Actually, that's a big problem. I'll Psychic Pelipper, and I'll just Dynamax Cannon Necrozma for what damage that does. Yeah, maybe I'll let Pelipper stick around too long, but their Calyrex just felt like the higher priority to KO. They get Trick Room back up now, though. I couldn't Astral Barrage there because of the wide guard. But once again, Bronzong is back, and Bronzong is just not that threatening. I think Bronzong also gets wide guard. But I wouldn't bet that this one has it, so I'm going to click Astral Barrage. And I'm going to click Dynamax Cannon into Bronzong. I'm looking to isolate their Necrozma. They can take a KO here. Weakness policy, of course. They can take a KO here, but my other Pokemon will get to move. And then, I don't think they're likely to... They could have Earthquake on Necrozma. But it's not a given that they have spread damage. So I'm just going to click Earth Power and another Dynamax Cannon, I guess. I guess they should target Ursaluna here. And they do in the KO. Maybe I need to play that a bit more slowly. Although, again, without an Assault Vest on Ursaluna, it's tricky. I can go for a double Protect if I think I need to. And they have Psychic Fangs, and they're at +2. I think I do need a double Protect. So 1 in 3 chance that I win this game. Yeah, it was worth a shot. That Psychic Fangs does KO, so... I made the right play on that last turn, at least. Yeah, maybe I need to get rid of the Pelipper before the Calyrex, but that's a tough thing to say. Calyrex is so much more threatening. But that last wide guard that they were able to click really punished me. In fact, pretty much won them the game. Whimsicott, Ho-Oh, Miraidon, Iron Valiant, Iron Hands, and Farigiraf. This might be the last game. I'm getting a little bit tired here again. Guess I played a fair bit of Pokemon today, huh? I'll go Whimsicott Eternatus here. Iron Valiant Spirit Break kind of punishes, but Iron Valiant Spirit Break kind of punishes my entire team, so whatever. I'll bring Chi-Yu and Calyrex. I like Eternatus into Miraidon lead. Like, they have to either commit the Draco Meteor or they're kind of awkward into it, and also I really like being able to Meteor Beam Ho-Oh if they let me. They let me? Are they going to KO my Whimsicott, though? No, because the Meteor Beam KOs Ho-Oh through the light screen. Nice. I also can now Encore the Whimsicott and deny their Tailwind. And Sludge Bomb it as well. Oh, Mental Herb. Okay. Didn't see that one coming, but it's not a Focus Sash, so it drops... I don't know why they didn't click Tailwind there. Their Whimsicott drops to a Sludge Bomb. Here's me right on. They could Terra Fairy that. They definitely could. And it's the second last turn of my Tailwind. I can afford to protect here, I think. I keep forgetting I have Fake Tears on Whimsicott. I've never clicked it. I'm going to click it now into Iron Hands. That makes that way easier to remove. It's a Terra Electric Miraidon. Okay. I just didn't want to click Dynamax Cannon if it was going Fairy, you know? Parabolic Charge. Doesn't even KO my Whimsicott. I can Fake Tears and Dynamax Cannon Miraidon now. It has Protect. Okay, maybe I should have seen that coming. But if Whimsicott gets through this turn, I can set Tailwind back up. I'll actually go for Dynamax Cannon into the hands here. This position is so strong now that I get a second Tailwind. Hands drops. Parabolic Charge takes out both of my Pokemon, but I have Chi-Yu and Calyrex in the back. That should be plenty of damage to close this out. I'll Dark Pulse mostly for the accuracy, but the flinch chance is nice too. And single target Astral Barrage. Yeah, that's GG. No need for the flinch chance. I guess I'll play until I lose one more. This is effectively a double feature this video. I think I'll end up playing to 3 losses twice. Oh, extra content for you. If I get an opponent. Where are the opponents? I'll call it here if it takes much longer. Okay. Weird, my browser window kind of broke for a moment there. Okay, I'm in a game now. They have Terrapagos, Rillaboom, Thundurus, that's cool. Urshifu, Landorus, and Shaman. I don't know what this team wants to do, and that's kind of scary. But they don't have Tailwind. They probably have speed control of some kind on Thundurus. Lead Chi-Yu is very strong into this, though. Actually, they might have Tailwind on Shaman, but it doesn't have Prankster. So Whimsicott Chi-Yu looks like a very strong lead here. And then the only thing is I probably only bring one restricted then, because I probably bring Urshifu. Although maybe I don't. Maybe I try to beat Terrapagos with like Fake Tears, Beads of Ruin, Special Spam. Because Urshifu is not really good into anything else on their team except Landorus. I'll bring my restricteds. We'll see how it goes. Once again, facing a Terrapagos without my fighting type. They lead single striker Shifu. That's what form it is, with Shaman. It could be Focus Sash Shaman, but I am down to just Tailwind and Heat Wave and see what we get here. I've already run Shaman a couple of times in this series, and I've run Focus Sash and Choice Scarf. Those were the 2 items that caught my eye. This one is Sash. A close combat Chi-Yu, it KOs. And they set their own Tailwind. Okay. Shaman is going to be pretty scary now, although I believe it is slower than Shadow Rider Calyrex still. Yeah. They can Sucker Punch Shadow Rider, but if I Terra Dark, then... Oh, I don't even have... Yeah, I do have to. I can't Encore this because... it's a Dark type. Yeah, that's correct. So... I'm actually going to switch Whimsicott out here, preserve it, maybe get an Encore or a Fake Tears or a Tailwind later. Just switch Eternatus in, probably for free, as Calyrex will probably just take 2 KOs here, if they let me. We do both have Tailwind up, but I have the fastest Pokemon. They go Terrapagos. Might actually have preferred to have what's it called? Whimsicott on the field against Terrapagos. It's Scarf or Shifu, so it's actually locked into close combat. Not a great Terra then by me. Close combat Eternatus. Yeah, that actually was a... I mean, if I'd had the information from an open team sheet, I would know that that was a bad Terra choice, but I didn't, so what can you do? You can Meteor Beam this... Rapagos, I suppose, and protect around a Fake Out. I think Calyrex is the more likely Fake Out target. They remove their own grassy terrain. That's probably not the worst thing for me. I guess wrong. They Fake Out Eternatus. But Terra Starstorm does a lot of damage, but it doesn't KO. This could be Specs Terrapagos. It's bad news for me if I guess wrong on that, but... Or like some kind of offensive item Terrapagos. If they protect Terrapagos, then I just accomplish nothing this turn. I probably lose the game, but they don't. Oh, I get a Psychic drop. That's so lucky. And then I miss a Meteor Beam to compensate. Okay, well, if that Meteor Beam had connected, surely that KOs. But yeah, I think this one can be the last game of the video. It is Leftovers Terrapagos. They could have protected. I don't know why they didn't, but I do know that... Just Moonblast this Shaman. Okay, they miss an Air Slash. Crazy game, crazy format, as always. They also just Terra Starstorm, so that's smart. I can't Encore them into anything passive. And then Rillaboom gets his terrain back up and gets priority into Whimsicott. Not that Whimsicott can knock it out anyway. Really. Oh, it's a completely different game if that Meteor Beam just connects, but that's Pokemon. I mean, that's what happens with Meteor Beam. I'll think about whether I want to try something with Cosmic Power Eternatus, but this was a fun set. Just a little bit frustrating some of the time, but overall not too bad. And now I get to do the traditional wrap-up here, which is, hey, there are 20 Pokemon left on the wheel. Some are better than Eternatus, and some are definitely worse than Eternatus. I'll give it another spin next time, and who knows what on earth is going to be next.